just in his thoughts, before his eyes. Baruch Hashem! Seen from close up on this cold September morning, seen standing stock-still like a telegraph pole on jetty number 4 at New York Harbor, America seemed more like a music box. For each window that opened there was one that closed. For each handcart that turned a corner there was one that appeared at the next. For each customer that got up from a table there was one that sat down, even before it was all prepared, he thought. And for a moment, inside that head that had been waiting for months to see it, America, the real America, was no more, no less than a flea circus. Not at all impressive. Indeed, if anything, comic. Amusing. It was then that someone tugged his arm. A port official, dark uniform, grey whiskers, large hat. He was writing in a register, names and numbers of those getting off, asking simple questions in basic English. Where do you come from? Rimpar. Rimpar? Where is Rimpar? Bayern, Germany. And your name? Chaim Lehman. I don't understand. Name? Chaim. What is Chaim? My name is Henry. Henry, okay. And your surname? Lehman. Lehman. Henry Lehman. Henry Lehman. Okay, Henry Lehman. Welcome to America. And good luck. And he stamped the date, September 11th, 1844, gave him a pat on the shoulder, and went off to stop someone else. Henry Lehman looked about him. The ship on which he had landed looked like a sleeping giant. But another ship was maneuvering into port, ready to berth at jetty number 4, dozens more like him, maybe Jews, maybe Germans, maybe wearing their best shoes, and just one suitcase at their side, they too surprised that they are shaking, partly with excitement, partly because of the dry land, partly because America, the real America, seen from up close like a gigantic music box, has a certain effect. He took a deep breath, gripped his suitcase, and with a firm step, though still not knowing where to go, he entered, he too, the music box called America. 2. Gefilte fish. Rabbi Kassovitz, so Henry had been told, is not the best acquaintance you might hope to make after a 45-day crossing, having just set foot on the other side of the Atlantic. Partly because he has a decidedly irritating sneer fixed on his face, glued to his lips, as if from a deep-down contempt for anyone who came to speak to him. And then there are his eyes. How can you avoid feeling uneasy when faced with a stubborn old man, swamped in his dark suit, whose only sign of life comes from that pair of squinting, anarchic, crazed eyes that are always glancing elsewhere unpredictably, bouncing like billiard balls unpredictably, and though never stopping to look at you, they never miss a detail? Prepare yourself. Go to Rab Kassovitz. It's always an experience. You'll be sorry you've been, but you cannot avoid it. So summon your courage and knock on that door. That's what Henry Lehman has been told by German Jewish friends who've been here in New York for a while, for such a while that they know the streets and talk an odd kind of language where Yiddish is dressed up with English. They say Frau Darling to girls, and the children ask for der ice cream. Henry Lehman, son of a cattle dealer, has not yet been 3 days in America, but pretends to understand everything, and even makes himself say yes when German Jewish friends grin and ask if he can smell the stench of New York on his clothing. Remember, Henry, at first we all smell it. Then one day you stop, you no longer notice it, and then you can really say you've arrived in America, and that you're really here. Yes, Henry nods. Yes, Henry smiles. Yes, yes. Henry, in fact, can smell the stench of New York all over him. A nauseating mix of fodder, smoke, and every kind of mold, such that to the nostrils at least, this New York so much dreamed about seems worse than his father's cattle shed over there in Germany, in Rimpar, Bavaria. Yes. But in his letter home, the first from American soil, Henry hasn't mentioned the stench. He has written about Germany.